Hi, hello, and welcome to Trenz. Today we are going to talk about few more filter concepts, which is actually a continuation of what we talked yesterday. So in the part 1 of the video, we talked about basic filter concepts, filter types, date filter, text filter, and number filter, and some custom filters in the filter types. If you have not watched my part 1 video, please do watch it out. The link is in the description column. So now let's move on to the advanced filter types. Let's come back to the same example what we talked yesterday. We already saw few of the custom filters, which is in date filters, we can use what is this year, last quarter, and stuff like that. And in text filters, we already saw what it is when it begins with, ends with, contains, and other things, right? And in the numbers, similarly, we saw all these things. But there's also some shortcuts of how we can do this custom filter. Let's say now I want company G data. So I'm just typing company G here. So, and then I click OK. So now I see the data only for company G. Now I need to know company E as well together with G, meaning I need to have both company E and G in my data. So for that, I go and type in here company E. Then you can see a small box here, add current selection to filter. You need to go and click here, and what Excel does is you have already selected company G. To that existing selection, you will be adding company E as well. So you need to just click the tab, little box over here and click OK. So now you have both company E and company G. So this is one of the intricacies of our custom filter. Let me clear filter now. This you can do it for all the filters, like even for date filter, you can still do it. So you say 2020, then you will have 2020. You can click here. You also need to know what is the sales for 2019. So 2019, and I go and click this add current selection to filter and click OK. So actually this particular function works for all types of filters. So now let's move on to advanced filters. It's called advanced, but don't worry, it's not that difficult. Let's see how. We can see a small advanced button here, but we are not going to use this and select criteria. Rather, using the data we have, we are going to create criteria and then use the advanced filters. Let me show you how. So now let's start to create the criteria. For that, I need to add few rows on top of the header. Just go to Home tab, Insert. I'm going to insert some 4 to 5 rows. Most importantly, we have to go and copy the header first. So the first thing, I want to know Varun's sales that are greater than 50,000. Rajesh sales that are greater than, let's say, 30,000. And for Priscilla, I'm rather interested to know what is her sales in company A. So what this function does is when moving to the left, it takes the condition and if moved downwards, it takes the condition R. So it's Varun's sales that are greater than 50,000 or Rajesh sales greater than 30,000 or Priscilla's sales in company A. So now we have done the criteria setting. Let's move on to the advanced filter. So keep the cursor on your data, going to data tab, click the advanced function. So since I've kept the cursor within, it has already selected the list range. And for criteria range, we need to go up and select the criteria range. So now we can either do the filter in the same place or we can filter to another location. So first let's see filter in place. So I'm just going to click OK. Yeah, so now you have seen that the filter has already happened. So this is all Varun's sales greater than 30,000, greater than 50,000. Rajesh is greater than 30,000. And Priscilla's one is only for company A. So Priscilla is all company A only. So let me clear it. Secondly, the same criteria, just going to advanced. So I'm going to use the same criteria, but instead of filtering in the same place, I'm going to filter in another location. So here, if you do the filter in the same place, this particular box is not been available for editing. But if you go and click the copy to another location, it is asking us, where do you want to copy this? So I'm just not going to use the same filter. I'm just rather going to copy somewhere here, or even if I can go and copy it in another tab. So now I'm going to copy it in H2. So I'm just click OK. So here I have the filters that's already been done. So that's all on advanced filters. It's not that difficult, right? Once you get a hang of it, it's really handy and it's really very useful. Next, let's see how to filter for unique values. I want to know what are all the products that are currently available in this list. For that, just go to click the advanced button. By default, it's actually selecting the entire range, but actually we need only the column D. For that, just click on the header and then press Control Shift and down arrow. So once you always press Control Shift and down arrow, it will help you select the entire column. And then the criteria range, we just need to go and click the sneaky little box, unique records only, and then click OK. So what has happened? Just go to the top. So it actually picks the first occurrence of all the products. So either I can just see it here, or I don't want to disturb the filter. Sorry, I don't want to disturb the data. Rather, I want to copy it over in any of the other columns. So let me just select the H1. So let me clear it and then click the advanced. Same thing. Keep your cursor on the header, Control Shift and down arrow. The criteria range, let's go and select the unique records only, and then let's press the copy to another location. So now we are going to copy to H1 and click OK. So it has copied this entire list of items to a separate tab. Sorry, to a separate column here. So later we can use this for some other activities, like if you want to create a name manager, or if you want to create a drop down list and all, this list will be very helpful. So that is how we can select the filter for unique data. Now let's see how to create formulas for filters. The formula is equal to filter, open bracket. It's asking us to choose the array, which is the list of data that we want to filter. So I'm going to press Control Shift, left arrow, and then down arrow, which is helping me to select the whole range. Let me go up to see the formula. Yeah, and then comma. It is asking me to include. So what is the condition, or what is the filter that I want to do? Now I want to know the sales of Varun. So I'm going to press Control C. Sorry, I'm going to press my cursor on C and then Control Shift and down arrow. Let me go up again so you can see the formula. So now I'm going to press the condition is equal to quote Varun quote and close bracket. So I'm going to click enter. So if you can see here, there's a small little table that's available. Let me change the format so then we can move on to see more details. This is date and this is my dollar. So a few things here is whenever we do a formula in for filter, it actually spills out to all the other available rows and columns of what are all the data that are available. So and other thing to note here is if you see the other few columns, you don't see formula here. It's actually blurred, meaning that you cannot change anything in the formula here. So the only place where you can change is where you have initially created the formula. So let me go and change the formula. Instead of Varun, I need to know maybe Jason. So I'm just going to click Jason, type Jason and press enter. So now it's giving me Jason's details. So this is actually one of the very handy and useful tip on filtering. With that, we come to the end of today's session. So today we talked about more custom filters, advanced filters, how to filter unique values, and how to use formulas to do the filters. There will be one last video on filters before we jump to the next session. And that video, we will talk about slices to filter and how do we use Power Query to do a filter and few filtering tips. If you like this video, share it with your loved ones and remember to subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggestions, please leave it in the comment box. Thank you.